All right, so I wanted to go over some recent trades and recent comments I got from some students just to help you understand the game even better. Getting a lot more questions now. I was in the New York Post, page 6 on Friday with Plaxico. We're going on TV next week to really discuss what we have planned for professional athletes. But those of you who aren't professional athletes, I want to teach you too. And now I'm up 4.23 million in trading profits. And a lot of people ask me, like, Tim, like, you've made so much money. Why do you even care about these few $100 profits? Like, you made nearly 500 on this trade on IFON on Friday and 400 on this trade on OREX. And what you have to understand is that I trade with a very small account. If I traded with a big account, I would focus purely on trading. I wouldn't do video lessons. I wouldn't just trade off a laptop. I would have a big screen, multi-screen setup. And I would use every trick in the books to maximize my profits. And that would involve, if I put in a 50,000 share buy order, I would only show like 500 shares. Some brokers allow that. Some tools allow that. I don't care. I don't care about making as much money as I can from trading anymore. Whether I make 400 or 500 or 1,000 or even lose, it teaches you. Every single trade I do is a lesson to you guys, good or bad. And that is why I trade. And that's why I love this. I do love to trade. Year to date, what am I up? Like 30, 40,000? 41,000 on just a small account. And let me just show you these quick trades real quick. So OREX had a great short entry, and I covered like a biatch. I made like 2%, but dead on right in my thinking. So I shorted into this morning spike. So this is a little morning spike, and look where it tops out at. Oh, it's perfect, almost perfect. The low here yesterday was, or Thursday, was 740-ish. The high on Friday was 745-ish, and then it kind of topped out at 740. And I got short at 725. It was tough to short right at the top because this stock was under the SSR. You Trading Challenge students understand this. During one of my live Trading Challenge webinars, what was it, Wednesday? I shorted BIOC into the SSR. The SSR doesn't allow you to short into a downtick. So you actually need buyers to push the stock up in order to short it. And that makes it pretty difficult. So I was shorting it right in here as it was dropping a little bit. And I guess I could have gotten like 735, 740. I missed the top by like 15 cents a share. And then it started tanking and I covered into this. Had I waited another hour, coulda, woulda, shoulda made another 30 cents a share. Again, very small position. I bet roughly $20,000 or $23,000. So when I'm trading a small position, I'm not going to have perfect timing, and I don't want you to have perfect timing. If you can make a few $100 pretty easily, yeah, it's 2%. Probably coulda, woulda, shoulda been more like 5%. That's still a pretty good trade. I was on the right track, and being on the right track, is a lot. A lot of you guys are like, oh, I was so close, but I didn't get executed. That's fine. Here is IFON. I made 3%, and I was on the right track. This is IFON for the day. Let me show you. It squeezed a little higher on Friday, just like I kind of said that it would. So here it had huge earnings up from 170 all the way to 3, and it started coming down here. And it's been using 235, 240 as a base. So I bought at 240, and I gave it like 2 or 3 hours, and I sold it at 248. In the last minute, literally in the last like 3 minutes of the day, and I had a meeting, so I missed it. It was hanging around 250, couldn't go green on the day. And then in the last minute, it really spiked. So again, buying anywhere, you could have bought it in the morning at 240 or in the afternoon at 240. Either way, you have several times where you have clear support. So I'm making a few $100, didn't time it perfectly, could have made, double on that and could have made triple than what I did on OREX, but I had the right idea. Let me talk about a few students for a second. So I love getting comments from you guys, good and bad. Send me whatever you're thinking. Tyler says, damn, watch tons of your videos, and this one takes the cake. Absolutely most helpful video for me so far. Really puts what you do into perspective. So he's talking about my Trading Challenge webinar, which I made free for everybody, just so that you understand, Trading Challenge students get 2 to 3 webinars per week. And a lot of people don't realize that. There is such a huge advantage to being a trading challenge student because some of those weekly webinars are live trading webinars, and as much as I want to give real-time alerts to everybody, when I'm doing a webinar, the trading challenge students can see my screen, and then I have to type in the alert, and all the while they know my trade. So it's a clear advantage for them. And the cool thing is that many trading challenge students have learned to predict my trades. And sometimes during these challenge webinars, I miss my actual execution because, again, I'm audibling everything I'm thinking. And before I can even get to my trading screen, the trading challenge students are taking action. It's kind of crazy. And, you can predict stock moves. And that's the whole goal, for you guys to be able to do it by yourself. An example would be on, what was that, CAPN a few weeks ago, where it broke out right here. It had a big spike on the announcement of their new product, and then it dipped. And it tried to bounce in the morning, and the high was like 470, 475. And so right here at like, where was it? Right around here. You can't really see it, but somewhere in here, I was like thinking about buying it right when I started the webinar. I was like, this might be a good dip buy. And, there was, I think, a 5,000 share sell order. The You Trading Challenge students can look back at the webinar. They're all archived. And I'm not sure if I made that one free. I made this week's free. I don't think I made this one free. I don't remember. Too many webinars. But long story short, I said, okay, here's where I would buy it at like 485. And I think there was a 5,000 share sell order at 480 or 485 that I would have bought into. And I wouldn't have held, all this way. I wouldn't have been like, oh, I would have bought it at 480 and doubled my money in 2 weeks. I didn't know it was going to go up that much. What I would have done was buy it at 480-ish and probably flip it in like the 520s and make 40 cents or like $2,000 inside of 20 minutes. Never got the execution, never got the alert off, but several students did. And that's kind of cool. So anyways, Tyler says, you read these stocks like a book. Congrats. Wish I had the money to be a challenge student. Maybe you'll see me in there one day. You guys got to invest in your education, okay? A lot of trading challenge students are making their money back in like 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 trades. And also you have to understand that you get access as a trading challenge student to all of Tim Grittani and Michael Good's webinars. Tim Grittani, in case you haven't known, is the single most successful trader in the world on a percent basis in the past 5 years, going from a few thousand to now 2.5 million. And he has, I think, like 30 plus hours of webinars. So even if you hate me, which some people do, because I'm a little too passionate and I'm kind of an ass sometimes, I admit it, it's fine. Tim Grittani's webinars are amazing. I even watch them. And some big time traders, I told them, when they have issues, I'm like, you need to watch Tim Grittani's webinars. And big time traders are little wusses too. So they got offended. They're like, I'm not going to watch another trader's webinars. That's stupid, okay? Everybody should watch successful students and learn from successful traders. It's amazing how many lessons you can learn from somebody, even if they have a different strategy than you. I've been talking about this kid Connor lately, who has turned 10,000 into roughly 330,000. And just because he's in high school, the discrimination is amazing. He's too young. He only has been trading for a year. I don't care. I don't care if you've been trading for a month and you've made 100,000 or a million. I still want to learn, what is he doing right? And for Connor, he's trading with a small $30,000 account. So his gains are staggering compared to what he's actually trading with. He puts his money aside, and he's a fantastic hard worker. So I don't know. Thank you, Tyler, for this comment. Net Ninja says, the amount of work you do to take care of your students, both silver and trading challenge, is incredible. I don't think people understand the enormity of it all. Sure, you have a staff of people to help keep things running, but your candor and transparency makes it a no-brainer. Much success to you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, my staff helps out a ton, but I do the videos, I see these trades, I know the patterns better than anybody. And some people understand the enormity of it all. Most people don't. Most students do not watch the entire video lessons, or any of the video lessons for that matter. Less than 20% of students even bother opening a video lesson. Less than 10% of them watch them all the way through, and less than 5%, or even 3%, I think actually is the latest number, have watched the majority of video lessons, and it's like less than 1% of people have watched all the video lessons. If you're going to pay for an education, I can't force you to watch it. There's no Clockwork Orange type device where I can keep your eyes open. But the more videos you watch, whether it's, looking about on stocks like CAPN, where several big time traders they're like, this is such junk, I'm shorting it. And they've been saying it's been junk since the sixes. And then when it goes to the nines, they're quiet. So don't even listen to big time traders, okay? Listen to what the chart says. So many big time, quote, big time traders who don't share their trades transparently. And they say, oh, look at me, I have all this money, everyone's so stupid. I'm so sick of the negativity, okay? Nobody is stupid. Some people are lazy, that's true, but nobody's stupid. Anybody in the world can make $1 million trading these kinds of stocks if you follow price action, if you learn the patterns and the rules. Nobody is better than anybody else in this game. We're all learning still, even me after 15 years. I'm so sick to death of some of these traders' attitudes out there. And that's why trading is such a small thing in the world, because most of the richest people and the biggest traders in the world, they're just assholes. They really are. Myself included sometimes. Zachary says, after playing the market for a week or two, rewatching your video lessons is essential and makes the info easier to understand and highlights how important the rules really are. I'm glad I took the risk of trying to trade because I learned every step of the way, and now through rewatching and studying Timothy Sykes videos and watching the market, it's clear that I don't need to trade to trade. I don't need to trade to trade. That's really cool. Patience is key. Patience is my biggest struggle. And that is so true for 99% of penny stock traders. You don't need to trade as much as you think you do. You have these scalpers out there making hundreds of trades, and they make like 2, 3, 5, 10 cents a share here or there. And a lot of people see when I make 10 or 15 cents a share that they think that's my goal. No, something comes up. I usually screw up trades. That's usually a bad trade for me when I make 5 or 10 cents a share. Like OREX, where I was right for 40 cents a share, and IFON, where right now I'd be right for 20 cents a share. I took profits too soon. It happens. But you don't need to trade as much as you think you do to really make a lot of money. You'll be surprised. Here's some stuff I just copied from the chat room real quick. OREX, $400 in profits so far, holding 2,000 short at 695. I don't like this entry price, but I like the 400 in profits. I hope he covered. Tom G shorted OREX at 795, so $1 a share higher. Covered a third for like 80 cents a share for 10% on his money. Reshorted at 699. New average is 763. Currently up 9% on my remaining position. That's awesome. And this is it. Don't knock, a few $100s in profits. My millions in dollars in profits and my top students' millions in dollars in profits are built on a few hundred, a few $1,000s per trade. It's very surprising to people, and this is why a lot of like Wall Street pros like laugh at it. They're like, oh, I'm making 50,000 or 100,000 on a trade. I don't care about this stuff. And they're also losing 50 or 100,000 on every trade. If you can grow a small account a few hundred or a few $1,000s at a time, you're on the right path. Do not listen to all of this bullshit out there. There's so much bullshit out there. People say, Tim, what drives you? You're already rich. You have these successful students. Bullshit drives me, okay? I want to cut through it all. If you can make 500 or 400 or $600 on a trade, and you do that day in, day out, and sometimes you lose, but you cut losses quickly, and you lose like 100 or 200 at a time, you're on the right path to becoming a millionaire. And that's what this is all about. Here's Andre, shorted OREX yesterday at 789, out same day after hours, 679, 1,000 shares. So made 1,100 bucks. Actually, in another country, fell asleep on the trade, woke up to pleasant surprise. I know you say all the time, if someone knocked me out, I'd probably be a better trader. LOL. Study, locked in profits, first $1,000 plus gain. Andre, that is awesome. And that is true. I am very impatient. And that's probably why when I travel, I'm actually a better trader, because, I don't want to take trades that I don't have to, because I want to focus on my, vacation or, exploring whatever country I'm in. It's weird how it works, but congrats on the $1,000. Here's Wacko you got a good trade buying AXN at 111 and sold at a buck 38. High of the day is 145 so far. I think it went to the 150s too. But a 26% gain, that's freaking awesome. And oh, here are some comments from PB. These were during the live trading challenge webinar the other day. Got IFON. Oh, this was another trade the other day that I missed the buy, but I said it in the webinar before the market even opened. This was a 9 a.m. Trading challenge webinar, and PB got in at 244, out, made 700 bucks, bought it at 244, sold it at 280, and it went over 3. So this guy Devontae did better, 245 to 301. Anyways, this is how you bank, okay? People can knock on penny stocks, people can knock on me, but if you learn to make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 cents, maybe $1 a share sometimes per trade, almost every trade, and if you lose and you lose 5 or 10 cents a share, cutting losses quickly, your account will be on the right trajectory. I hope you enjoy. Please do use the weekend to study. You Trading Challenge students have a lot of webinars on demand. Watch all of Tim Grittani's. Watch them 5 times if you can. Goodbye. See you.